Shirley Chan lives stories, telling, reading, and writing them. She grew up on Eastern fairy tales and then found Anderson, Grimm, and Lang. She has since graduated to longer prose, but never forgot the fables that started her literate journey. She lives in Brooklyn, works a regular day job, and lives the fantastical whenever she can, imagined or otherwise. Shirley, over to you.
Hello. So this is from the first chapter of my book, and at this point in the story, the youngest daughter of the Jade King is missing from the Jade Court, which is the palace and the heart of the Middle Kingdom. Monkey, the troublemaker, has a lead as to where she is, and so he's gone to investigate. Monkey loved to fly, and he made good time getting to Falling Girl's house. He made sure to fly casually, just in case anyone was watching, and even managed to check in on some of his minions along the way. He waited and watched a nauseating farewell scene between the bride and the groom, and then watched some more as the bride did some work inside the house. He didn't get a good look at her until she stepped outside and sat on a stoop to peel and chop vegetables. For a moment, Monkey thought he had been wrong in his suspicions. Falling Girl looked like any other peasant woman preparing a meal for her husband. But then he heard it. Falling Girl was humming a court song that was only now circulating among the mortals. The moon reflects my heart. You still sing like a donkey, said Monkey as he swung down from the trees. Monkey, gasped Falling Girl. What are you doing here? Monkey bounded over and picked up a turnip. Why, princess, anyone would think you didn't wish to be found. He gnawed on the turnip and examined his one-time playmate. Monkey would never have recognized this woman as the Jade Princess. She looked mortal. Her skin was darkening, her nails were chipped, and she was chopping vegetables. Even her immortal glow seemed muted. Truly, Monkey, you must leave. Father may be tracking me through you. Monkey had been fond of all of the princesses, and not just because of the non-discovery bubble that surrounded them. However, of all the princesses, Chinoo was definitely Monkey's favorite partner in crime. Chinoo had been an active participant, and some of their special projects still had to bear fruit. Yes, well, he can't do that anymore. I'm a demigod now. I passed my exams. Monkey couldn't resist a small strut. He can no more sense me than he could you. Oh, how wonderful. I hadn't heard. I hadn't been in touch, and I've been rather busy and... Busy? You've been missing for over a moon. Why, princess? What possessed you to leave court? For this? Monkey gestured with a turnip at the small wooden house. An immortal? Even I could never come up with such a plan to torment your father. Please, Monkey, don't scold. The princess tidied up the vegetables and put them into a bowl. Come inside before anyone sees you, and I'll try to explain. When the princess got up to enter the house, Monkey suddenly realized why she looked so mortal. Immortality was more than inheritance or state of being. It was tied to the power of the Jade King and his court. And there's no better way to disrupt that godly power than by being pregnant with a mortal child. In the end, what was there to say? Boredom, curiosity, mischief, all emotions Monkey could relate to, combined to bring the Jade Princess to this state. And much to Monkey's consternation, the princess was not only pregnant, but in love. But he's a mortal and a cow herder. Monkey wasn't sure which was worse. The Jade Princess sighed and shrugged, as only those who had to live with the consequences could do. No one chooses whom they love, Monkey, you know that. You know who must have tied the red strings, and there's nothing that can be done about it now. Monkey had never thought that Kuan Yin had such forethought and planning, and made a mental note to consult with her more often. Your father was rather rude to her after their affair. It was the scandal of the century. Kuan Yin was the daughter of a mortal king who caught the Jade King's eye, and after what all agreed was a mutually smitten dalliance, the Jade King dispensed with her company and did not even bestow upon her the title of concubine. Not long after the breakup, Kuan Yin attained full goddess status. Many, including Monkey, believed Kuan Yin had a score to settle. The irony was, of course, the only goddessship available at the time was that of mercy and compassion. As the goddess, one of Kuan Yin's duties was to connect souls. She spun red ether and bound newborns to each other through their navel. Technically, it didn't matter how far apart in station, distance, or time the souls were. Once joined, that was that. Practically, Monkey could see very little mercy or compassion in what Kuan Yin had done to the princess. Does the mortal know who you really are? Monkey asked. He had his suspicions. Why else would she be hiding? No, the princess bit her lip, and I really don't know how to tell him. Monkey then had to sit through the litany of omissions and half-truths the princess had told in order to allay the mortal suspicions. Beautiful, rich, and virtuous maidens didn't usually fall from the sky and land at one's feet. Either the mortal was very gullible, or he knew full well the risk he was taking. You are actually happy here. It started as a question, but became a statement as Monkey realized this simple truth. The princess nodded and smiled. It's hard to believe, but I feel like I have a purpose here. I know it's not much, but he has such big plans. He's going to build me a loom so I can weave and make silks again, and more land so we can have a farm of our own. The princess stirred a stew pot with the vegetables she had peeled and chopped. If I had known my fortune, I would have laughed or been horrified. But now, breaking with tradition, none of the Jade King's children had their fortunes cast upon birth. It would have been too convenient for the Jade King to use the fortunes as a way to determine the fate of his children, and thus circumvent his promise. On the other hand, the best fortunes were always the most obscure. Even if she had had her fortune cast, Monkey doubted anyone would have been able to read mortality into it. Princess, what are you gonna do? Do? I'm doing what I'm doing, the princess said as she patted her stomach. The rest will happen as it will. And didn't that sound like an obscure fortune? So this story, the basis of the story is actually what is more commonly referred to as the Chinese Valentine story. And to find out how I end it, read on!